Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start up by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakah Kodash, my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone and my elder Heroine as well. Salutation to the occupant that are pushing the truth to sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, now, Khalaq Sa'am Bon Yashar from the Lions in the Yashar camp. And this is another Lions Den news and prophecy. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and serves its purpose for the hope of the elected ones who truly believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is on the article titled that North Korea says frontline units ready to strike South Korea if more drones appear. All right, so apparently there's been drones flying in North Korea's airspace sent by the United States and South Korea, um, allegedly. Um, so with that being said, our North Korea was like, "Hey, we're setting up battle forces on the front line ready to strike if you keep playing." So that's the message and the statement that's being sent. And once again, we have the common denominating factor, which is the United States, that's in the midst of all this, whether it's in the forefront or in the background. With all these conflicts that's going on in the earth right now, you got the war of Yahweh Shaphat brewing up, which is ultimately going to lead to World War III, which you see with this right here brewing up, and then the situation with um China and Taiwan. We got an article. I got to do a lesson on that next. We see everything building up in the way that Yahweh Shimei Shai said it was going to, and we prophesy according to the words of Yahweh Shimei Shai. So this is the beautiful thing. He says you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Wars, no more rumors anymore. These You got North Korea. I mean, you got Iran and Israel going to war. You got Ukraine and Russia at war. Right, so there's no more rumors, but in the world it's war going on right now. You know, all right. It says North Korea said Sunday its frontline army units are ready to launch strikes on South Korea, ramping up pressure on its rivals. That it said that it said flew drones and dropped leaflets over its capital Pyongyang. All right. So why are they rivals? That's the question to ask. When they are the same people, we're going to get into that. It says South Korea has refused to confirm whether it sent drones, but warned it would sternly punish North Korea if the safety of citizens is threatened. North Korea on Friday accused South Korea of launching drones to drop Pyongyang's leaflets over Pyongyang's 3 times this month and threatened to respond with force if it happened again. In a statement carried by state media Sunday, the North's defense ministry said that the military had issued a preliminary operation over the artillery operation order to artillery and other army units near the border with South Korea to get fully ready to open fire. See, these people ain't playing. It says an unidentified ministry spokesperson said the North Korea's military ordered relevant units to fully prepare for situations like launching immediate strikes on unsuspected enemy targets when South Korea infiltrates these drones across the border again, possibly triggering fighting on the Korean Peninsula, according to the statement. All right. Now, let's read a little bit more. All right. It says the spokesperson said the grave touch and go military tensions are prevailing on the Korean Peninsula because of the South Korea drone launches. In a separate statement later Sunday, the spokesperson said the entire South Korean territory might turn into piles of ashes following the North powerful attack, which would force America to have to get involved. Says also Sunday, the powerful sister of North Korea leader Kim Jong Un described as suicidal the South Korean Defense Ministry reported warning the North Korea would face the end of its regime if it harms South Korea nationals. She warned Saturday that the discovery of new South Korean drones will certainly lead to a horrible disaster. These boys, they ready to go. They ready to go. They ain't playing with these, man. They are not playing. All right, hold on. So you got Kim Jong Un and his sister, Slocky, talking noise, ready to go on go mode, on straight go mode, man. They are not playing around. Like everybody think it's a game. They say they're ready to strike. It says North Korea often issues such fiery, blistering rhetoric in times of elevated animosities with South Korea and the United States. I told you, see that? The United States always in the midst of it. Ties between two Koreas remain tense since the United States led diplomacy on ending North Korea's nuclear program fell apart in 2019. North Korea has since pushed hard to expand the nuclear arsenal and repeatedly threatened to attack South Korea and the United States with its nuclear weapons, but experts say it's unlikely for North Korea to launch a full-blown attack because its military is outpaced by the combined North United States and South Korean forces. But you got Russia that would back North Korea. So, all right, just lock in. Oh my goodness. But all right, hold on a second. All right, so it says observers predicted North Korea would escalate tensions ahead of next month's U.S. presidential election to boost its leverage in future diplomacy with the Americans. Since May, North Korea has floated thousands of balloons carrying rubbish towards South Korea in retaliation for South Korean activists flying their own balloons carrying anti-Pyongyang leaflets. South Korean military responded to North's balloon campaign by restarting border loudspeakers and blaring broadcast propaganda and K-pop songs to North Korea. Wow, they so petty. Said North Korea is extremely sensitive to any outside criticism and authoritarian government of Kim Jong Un and his family's dynasty rule. All right, so now the first question, we're going to go in this a little bit. The first question I want to ask, now we see the tensions between the North and the South. Crazy part about it is they're the same people. Why are they so divided? Right? What is the reason for the Koreans, North and South Korea, to be divided? Well, let's go there. Let's get it. Let me see. It says the division of Korea. All right, the division of Korea began in August 15th, 1945, when the official announcement of the surrender of Japan was released, thus ending the Pacific theater of World War II. All right, so now this is still a remnant of what the division comes from because they were together at one point in time. It wasn't no North and South, it was just Korea. But the division came after World War II. And how did Japan surrender? The surrender of Japan was released. Let's go to that. What made Japan surrender? And what because what made Japan enter into the war? The sanctions that were being put on them by the United States, which forced them to go to war. That's how the whole Pearl Harbor incident happened. All right, so because America was trying to get into the war. All right, all right. So now, what caused Japan to surrender? Let's read it. All right, this is Revelation 13 and 12. It says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. That's speaking about Rome. Now this is talking about America, Rome being rebirthed through America, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. All right, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and the earth onto the earth in the sight of men. That was the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima when the world got introduced to nuclear war, and it was introduced by America. That's what gave America the hegemony on the earth, because nobody had these type of weapons at that time. Nobody had even acknowledgement of these type of weapons, really. All right, Russia was trying to, but they couldn't get to it fast enough. And that's when America got all those German scientists, and they built up that they had that ranch. It was somewhere like in Utah or some crazy stuff. When they had all those scientists living together to split the atom and create this bomb, big man and little man, and that's what introduced the whole world into nuclear war. So now, so that's how Japan surrendered. All right. So let's go back to this article. It says during the war, the Allied leaders had already been considering the question of Korea's future following Japan's eventual surrender in the war. The leaders reached an understanding that Korea would be liberated from Japan, but would be placed under international uh, trusteeship until the Koreans would be deemed ready for self-rule. Right, but that never happened. It says, in the last days of the war, the United States proposed dividing the Korean Peninsula into two occupation zones. The United States and the Soviet one. It says, with the 38th parallel as the dividing line, the Soviets accepted their proposal and agreed to divide Korea. See there? So that's the division of Korea. All right. See that? So this happened in 1945. And so Russia took the northern part and America took the southern part. All right, so now let's go further. It says it was understood that this division was only a temporary agreement until trusteeship could be implemented. In December 1945, the Moscow Conference of Foreign Ministers resulted in an agreement on a five-year four-power Korean trusteeship. However, with the onset of the Cold War and the other factors, both international and domestic, including Korean occupation, opposition, and the trusteeship negotiation between the United States and the Soviet Union over the next 2 years regarding the implementation of the trusteeship failed. So it never happened. So they stayed divided, and now they're used as proxy nations against each other for the Cold War. You got North Korea belonging to Russia, and South Korea belonging to the United States. So that trusteeship never happened. So they stayed divided, and this all transpired due to World War II. All right, which is ultimately like those events is what's one of the things that's leading into World War III. This is Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right. So the things that happened in World War II, all right, have a major effect on what's going to happen in World War III and why it's happening. United States, really, ultimately, it was because Yahweh Shema Shai said it. All right. But um, the United States introducing the world to nuclear war, you know, B, to bring forth World War III. So these tensions had to still be high, right? Because like it's like the Cold War never ceased. Like it's like kind of like World War II never ceased, but it's gonna it like kind of continued on through the Cold War through proxy wars, and now it's gonna like escalate and heat right back up into a hot war like World War II. But this one is gonna be burning and fuel and fire with those nuclear missiles, man. See, so it just shows how you know Yahweh Shimei Shai has a target on America's back. Because everything that's going on in the earth right now, the United States is the common denominator or a common factor to what the issues that are going on in the earth, man. You know. All right, Lord willing, let some edify and serve this purpose for the hopefully the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, I just want to touch on that a little bit, you know, because we're almost out of here. We're getting so close to the end, and these are beautiful times to see these things happen. Even though it puts a little bit of pressure on your mind, but it helps us increase in faith. All right. All right, with that, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakak Kwadash Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostle, the great millstone, and my elder Heroine as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth to sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Shalom.